Hello everyone. Today we are going to look into the IP address library within Python that is available to handle IP address, IP network, and and IP interface. So to get started, we will look into an IPv4 address. This particular class is available to handle a particular IP address, say 10.10.10.1. So to begin with, what we do is we construct an IP object, IP address object by passing the given IP address as a string like so. So as you can see, we have created a few IP objects so that we can see what are all the operations and what are all the methods that we can execute on the objects. So let's just start by uh, importing the IP address, obviously, and then we are going to create a couple of IP address objects, and then just for confirmation, the object is a class that is created, and then we just print the the IP address object. We just see the IP address itself. So the first method that we are going to see is if a given IP address is in private IP address space or is it public. So there are a lot of ranges within the private IP address space, class A, class B, class C. So if you want to just see it, you can apply the method is underscore private. That's going to show if a given IP address is in a private space or not. The result is a boolean. It's either going to be a true or a false. So an other IP address that I'm going to try, one is the 10.10.10. It is indeed private. The second one that I tried was 55.55.55.55, which is not in the private space. And similarly, we have checked the private. We are going to now check if it is in global or the reserved IP space. The one that I'm checking is 55.55. It is indeed global. And the same way we can check if a given IP address is in multicast space or not. So 224.0.0.1 is the IP address that I'm checking here. The first one is obviously the 55.55. It's not multicast. The second one that I'm now running is indeed multicast, which is this one, 224.0.0.1. Okay, so that's about the nature or the type of an IP address, if it is private, public, multicast. So in the similar way, we can perform certain operations on the IP address object itself. To give an example, we can check an IP address is greater than another IP address. Let's say here 172 IP address is indeed greater than 10.10.10.1, and the answer is true. We can check if it is greater than or equal to, is this true? 10.10.10.1 is greater. In this case it is equal, so it is returning true. We can check if it is less than true, because 10.10.10.1 is less than 224. And now I'm going to check if 224 is less than 172, which is false. So that's what we are getting. And obviously, just like greater than or equal to, we can check if it is less than or equal to, yes, true, 10.10.10.1 is less than 224. And then we can check equal to. The way we do equal to in Python is double equal to, because a single equal to would mean assignment. So yes, 10.10.1 is equal to 10.10.10.1. The second one is obviously not equal. The third one should also be equal to true. And in the similar way, we can check if it is not equal to. The way we check the not equal to operation is bang and equal to sign. True. 192.168.1.1 is not equal to 192.168.1.2. So this is a brief about IP address operation. Next, we go into IP network operation. Here we have little more operators than the just the IP address. Okay, now following the same template, we are going to import the IP address, and here we are creating couple of IP network objects. I'm sorry, not IP address object. Here we are creating one out of 10.10.0/24. There seems to be an issue. Why is that? Invalid syntax.